Hey, how's it going, comic book community? Now, I know it's been a while, but I think this comic haul has been a minute in the making. Truth be told, this is going to be a little bit all over the place. I went to a local community event, a couple of LCSs. I found out that a couple of local stores have been bought out by one from outer state, and I'll kind of get into it a little bit later. I have a full circle moment that kind of circles back around to my journey and comic book hauls on YouTube. And I had another visit to a comic shop that I really dislike, but we'll get into that as the video goes on. So I kind of want to start with this community event that they had a while ago. This is going back in December. So this is kind of organized by the city to help drive like local communities and uh, mainly in fandom. So particularly, this is more of an action figure Pokemon trading card event. Um, there really wasn't a whole lot of comic vendors in this particular show, but it was free to get in. And then I did manage to find some really good books, but I kind of handicapped myself because I went in with a budget and I really didn't want to spend like too much. So I guess we'll just get into it. In one of the booths, I managed to find an absolute Batman #1. This happens to be the Tyler Kirkham variant, and this is like not too long before the book actually started to catch fire, and now #1 issues of like the first prints and the variants have shot up like extraordinarily high. This one is the Tyler Kirkham variant. From what I remember, I may have paid around $15 for this, if I'm not mistaken. But staying on the trend of this particular book, at another booth, I managed to find the foil variant of issue #1. Um, Dang it, I don't even remember how much I paid for this. I think it was 30, and um, yeah, I guess I got really lucky on that one, because one of the newer shops that opened in my area or kind of rebranded, they had a regular first print Delato cover going for $300 up on the wall, and hey, I just managed to pick it up for 30. But this other vendor, I managed to just add this to the collection. It's a Batman #253 with the shadow on the cover. Um, One of the comic shops that I frequent actually had this for $70 up on the wall. And a vendor at this event, they actually had some pretty good stuff, but just like out of my budget. Seeing as how all of the James Gunn Peacemaker stuff kind of like ended on a sour note, he did manage to have a Judo Master #1, and he was asking $300 for that. And if the price wasn't so steep, I may have picked it up because it was like a beautiful copy. This one I managed to pick up for 15. I was able to talk him down an extra $3. This is a reader copy. It does have like the subscription crease for it. Not the best copy, but when another store had it for 70, I wasn't gonna complain about that. At another booth, I think they had like a whole bunch of really good Batman keys, but in particular, it's stuff that I already had, and then like I had it in better conditions than what they were offering, and I did manage to walk up with a few books. For this one is Detective Comics #523. This is one of those Killer Croc cameo issues. Um, This one in particular, it does have a price sticker of 3, but I managed to pay $3 for these the set of books, so like $1 a piece. Um, so Detective 523. This one is Teen Titans, or the new Teen Titans number 10. This is the second appearance of Deathstroke, following issue number 2, and then he has like a little cameo in number 9, but this is his second full appearance on this one. This one, hey, I managed to talk him down. Teen Titans number 37, $10. Um, I'm pretty sure that he, on his end, made a pricing error. He had $10 for it. I'm guessing his mom was the one that was pricing the stuff when she was checking me out. So yeah, all 3 of these were for $1. This is the first appearance of Miss Martian, which she's a major character in the Young Justice show. I managed to take a trip out to, that comic shop that I proclaimed was like my new favorite shop. I managed to stop by, but they didn't really have that much. One thing I do regret is that I did go before they rotated their inventory, which I heard they actually have some pretty big key books, but I don't know if I would have time to fit it into my schedule. But these books I managed to pick up for $2 a piece. Suicide Squad number 64. That's just a Deadshot cover. The new Teen Titans number 21. I believe this is the first Brother Blood. X-Force number 2. I guess the second appearance of Deadpool. X-Force number 3. It's just a cool Juggernaut cover. Batman Earth 1, the special preview edition, I guess. I'm not really sure how this continuity works, because most of the Earth 1 characters came out in free previews, and then you basically got like a little mini trade paperback that tells like the full story. Yeah, so I don't know how that works, but that's kind of like basically the Batman movie and the animated series Beware the Batman are inspired a lot by this particular series. The AEW Origins number 1, I managed to pick that up. I'm not sure why I got this. I'm pretty sure I got it confused with the regular on the old school series of Batman The Long Halloween, but this one was subtitled The Last Halloween, number 6. I mainly got it because it was a Mr. Freeze cover. So at my regular shop, I was kind of like keeping my promise of trying to fill out most of my Ninja Turtle run, and I got like a pretty good, decent stack. Let me try and gather most of this stuff up. This one is from the second series, number 3, number 4, number 6. These in particular were $5. Start trimming it down just a little bit. This is from the Adventures series, the Archies, issue number 2. Color coded. I think this one was 50% off if it's got the red dot up at the front. They have it graded at 7.5, 15. I got it for $7.50. This one, I think they may have made a mistake and they overcharged me by giving me the full price of $12. This is issue number 6, the first animated version of Leatherhead, because the red dot is on the back and not on the front. So it is a pretty pristine copy. I just wish I would have gotten it for 6 instead of 12. Guess a little detour. This is Batman from the New 52, number 7. Just trying to fill out that first entire series with the Court of Owls. This one was half off. That was for $5. This one, number 10. I think that completes the entire first 12 issues now that I have. For the longest time, this was a hot book until the show came out. The Dark Knight number 3, the White Rabbit cover. This one, I picked it up for $5. I'm almost finished with the complete run of this series, number 16. This one is mainly with the Gene Splice. What is it? What do they call that one dude that becomes the Cobra leader? So this one I picked up on one of their claim sales. Sonic the Hedgehog number 13, the first appearance of Knuckles, is indicated right there. This one I paid $30 for it. I remember like right when the second movie was coming out, this book was reaching $100 easily. So I'm gonna have to kind of like backtrack here because I think I got the rest of these Ninja Turtle books from a bookstore and at the LCS. Ninja Turtles number 5, number 8. These were all $5. This one is back at that shop. This one I paid $30 for. Issue number 10. Kind of the return or the revival of the Shredder. Back to the shop. That bookstore, this one, issue number 11. That was $5. This one was half off from the comic shop. I paid $5 for that one. This is somewhere in the 30s, right? Bookstore number 27. Bookstore number 28. This one I can't tell. I'm pretty sure it's 29-ish. Number 32. This one is from a comic shop. I paid full price for this one, $15. Issue number 43. This one I got at the bookstore. I can't believe I found it. Number 45. I guess the first appearance of Leatherhead in the main title, as opposed to Tales of the Ninja Turtles number 5, 6, I believe. The comic shop. This one I believe was half off. Yeah. Issue number 49. $10 for that one. This one was at a discount. I didn't get it at half off. I got it 25% off. Issue number 50. I believe this is the beginning of City at War. Bookstore, issue number 52. part 3 of City at War. This one was at the comic shop. I got this one for half off. Number 53. Off the top of my head, is this the first appearance of Karai? Feel free to correct me. I don't remember. This one wasn't a comic for me. I got this for my wife because she's a fan of the show Lucifer. For me, I'm not too big of a fan of it, considering it plays more like a procedural and the episodes do get formulaic after a while, and then like once the show moved over to Netflix, they try to get like super wacky and kind of more related, like in the ish the comic it's based on. This one is I paid 30 for it at a other shop because my regular store had this for like 40 or 50. I'm kind of sad about it because my son did get his hands on it and he kind of like messed it up a little bit. So he did beat up the grade. Sandman #4, the first appearance of Lucifer Morningstar. So I got my wife this book for her, and she got this for me. So I finally am able to pick up the final issue of this series. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Adventures #72, the final issue in the series. She got this for me, I believe, either for my birthday or Christmas, but you gotta forgive me because I do not remember when she got this for me. But you know what? When it comes to this book, low grade is better than no grade, and I'm just kind of happy that I got it. It is really beat up though. Subscription crease, a couple of spine ticks, although you couldn't really tell because the spine is white and it's a newsstand. I went back to this particular store. I can't believe I found this one. I paid 20 for it. Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #4, the first appearance of the Rat King. My comic shop had this, or no, it's the one where the comic shop that's closest to my wife's job, they had this in their back issue bins. I paid $3 for it. It's the Valentine Bluffs Massacre. It's the comic based on the movie. I believe this is a 4-issue maxi series. The thing about it is every issue has like 4 different covers, and usually the cover B, if I'm not mistaken, cover B are basically either posters of the movie or stills from the movie. This one just happens to be the main cover of the movie, and in 4K. I got it here somewhere. Yeah, like right here. So when I went back to that other shop, they actually had this one. For the most part, it's not in the best condition, but it is I believe it's a 1 in 250 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. This one. Then I went back a couple of weeks later, right when this issue was dropping. I can't believe I found it there. #11, the April O'Neil, Casey Jones variant. They had this one when it came out, issue #15, the Joker cover, Absolute Batman. So funny story is, with these next set of books, so there was like a local chain of comic shops around me that out of nowhere just closed out of the blue with like no warning whatsoever, and they just like basically left everybody in the dark. I myself just really didn't frequent it because they really only served like new issues and like the variants, and for the most part they didn't really offer gaming options, which I kind of like dropped out of just due to like all the Pokemon scarcity going on, and then the state that Yu-Gi-Oh is in with all just the non-stop reprints. I kind of just gave up trading cards. So that's basically what they were doing, and for the most part they got bought out by some comic shops that are out of Florida. For the most part, they have like a really good reward system when I popped in. Right now they're doing like a March Madness sale where if you go in like 7 times, like you don't even have to drop a whole bunch of money, but if you at least buy something, they give you like a stamp, and if you visit the store 7 times within a month, they'll give you like a free $30 gift certificate to spend on anything, including wall books. If there's something up there, you basically get it for free within that price range. For the most part, they did ramp up from the previous owners the back issue bins, although it is kind of not up to par with like every other comic shop in my area. But I did manage to find a couple of books. If I would have had my checklist with me, I wouldn't have bothered of getting another copy of number 16, Batman Beyond. For the most part, I would say that their pricing is pretty standard, and you are going to find some good books, but like when it comes to like the big key issues, you are going to be paying a premium. Issue number 19, yeah, so like $4.50 for that one, $4.50 for this. I believe after these 2 issues, I am down to the first 4 issues in this run, and the entire 24 issue set would be complete. So I just need 3 more to finish off this set. Kraven's Last Hunt, Spider-Man number 293. This is a reader copy, but most other shops will have this between $10 to $15, sometimes even $20. I managed to pick this up for $4.50. The Dark Knight number 1. This is the pre-New 52. 2009, 2010-ish. This is a 1 in 25 variant, if I'm not mistaken. Back to that old shop. Yeah, this book has fallen off hard. Superman Batman number 8. First appearance of Supergirl. Like, if you go by what it says on the wikis and the comic vines, the 4th iteration of Supergirl. Man, I remember when the Flash movie was coming out, this book was hitting $30 to $40, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm not too excited about the James Gunn, the way he's handling DC movies as of late. I really have like no interest in the new Supergirl movie. Apparently the comic shops can sense that, since this book was in the 5-issue ban. This book, I regret every single cent and time I spent buying this. Batman number 425. I paid $7 for this. So the story with this particular issue is I was actually intending to go to a comic shop that's like really far away on a Saturday. So they never mentioned anything. So I literally drove out there like 40 minutes away, and they never told anybody that the store was closed down for renovations and that their HVAC system went out. So at that time, the store was reaching like 80, 90 degrees inside. And I didn't want to waste the whole trip out there. So I took a detour. And as it happens, my most hated comic book shop is literally like not even 5 miles away from this place. If you guys know the story, it's one of those where right when Avengers Endgame was coming out, and I found the first Hawkeye, Clint Barton as Ronin, and the the comic shop guy like didn't want to like have it, that I found it in the dollar issue, so I flipped that store into basically price checking every book and trying to nickel and dime you. So the funny story is, this is like the fourth or fifth time that this particular shop has moved locations. When I first started going to this shop, they was like next to the college campus, so it was like more accessible. They would hire like all these college kids to actually go through their back issues and price them. Then they changed locations like halfway across the city, and that's kind of like when my story happened, and then they just took a nosedive from there. Then they got the brilliant idea, like right after COVID ended, they opened up a location at the mall of all places. And when, you know, it was not going to end well for them, and I could call that from a mile away. So it turns out that when they opened up that location at the mall, they basically split their inventory. What was it at the physical store that I was like going to, and they split it up with the mall. And then apparently their lease fell or lapsed, and they didn't want to renew them, so they ended up moving location like two more times, to where at the current location they basically downsized, and that store is basically a wreck. And for the comments that I've made before, I'm like, I made it on social media. I kind of called out the owners before, like, you can't possibly like be buying all this inventory. You're literally going through it issue by issue, because when I went through the bins, like everything is by publisher, by character, by date, series, year. Like you can't be that meticulous in how you set up your issues and then not even have the decency to price anything. So I found some like really good books, and I'm like, there is no way that I'm going to be able to get this at any kind of deal or whatever, or a steal, whatever you want to call it. So in my heart of hearts, I just knew this really is just a wasted trip. I mainly got this as an upgrade for one that's already in my collection that is just beat up. This one is a nicer copy. I took it up to the counter, and he spent like 4 or 5 minutes just researching this one little book, and he comes back at me, oh, it's gonna be $7. I'm like, really, dude, for this? I'm like, you got nothing priced, and you're gonna try and nickel and dime me. And I literally called them out on Google reviews for it, and their reasoning is they have one of the biggest back issue stocks in the DFW area, which is not true, by the way, but they just don't want to admit they want to nickel and dime you. So it was basically half a day's trip just wasted on this one book, and that kind of like put me in a sour mood. So yeah, for the most part, this is going to be my last trip to that store. Like, I don't know why they still have me on their emailing list. I told them to take me off of it. I don't want to visit your store, but I just keep getting spammed. And like their sales are never consistent with their bait and switches, so I'm like kind of done with that. So back to my regular store, X-Men number 200. Being quite honest with you guys, I have not been watching any like superhero stuff as of late, but this was hot for a minute because this is the costume that he wears during the reboot of X-Men 97. If I remember correctly, that one would have been a $5 book, along with this one, Weird Mystery Tales number 2. I mainly got it because it's a Titanic issue. I do want to read this, but I kind of don't want to ruin it, because it is kind of, the inside of the book is kind of brittle, but the outside, the cover is actually pretty nice. Speaking of which, like a little minor gripe that I have with my usual store is they don't really seem to go back and then reprice stuff. So like on the good side of things, that they actually price their stuff, but they don't actually go back to reprice it if the market happens to jump, which in sometimes is a good case because you can get at a steal, but at other times you're like asking way too much for a book that's not in anybody's company. So this next book is something that they had in their back issue bins for $70 in the key issue bins. And I found this at that bookstore for $5, and that's Star Wars number 10, the Outlander copy. So I'm like, as of late with me, it's kind of like give and take. Like we got a penny pinch nowadays with the way stuff is going. If I can find a better deal, then I'll just go ahead and do that. But it is what it is. So this next book is a full circle moment for me, mainly because this is kind of what set my journey off into finding these particular comics. So it just so happens to be almost 6 years to the date, and you guys should know what happened basically 6 years ago and the world shutting down. It just so happens that my wife at the time, or my girlfriend, my wife now, we were at an antique mall, and we were just like passing time, and I happened to come across this particular issue. The funny thing is that it kind of looked bootleg to me, so I didn't give it any thought. I made a comment on somebody's video a couple of months ago, and this is kind of like what kind of got me going. So I had put it back and given it no thoughts. Come to find out, I did a little bit of research. These are the rare variants of these particular issues. So of course the world shuts down literally not 2 or 3 days later when I try to return. Everything is closed. You got to make special call-in appointments with the owners of that antique shop, and you got to see if they can get a hold of the sellers and trying to set up a deal there or whatever. Funny enough, like a full circle moment is that I literally found this particular book 6 years later, around 5 miles down the road, for $1 more, and it's basically the same book that kind of set me off on finding DC Universe variants. So 6 years ago to the day, I put this book back. 6 years later, I find it right down the road, 5-6 miles away, like a full circle moment. And it just happens to be $1 more than what the original seller at that booth was selling it for. So 6 years ago, they were selling it for $6. 5-6 miles up the road, I paid $7 for it, and there's like listings right now on eBay for like $30. But hey, I never gave up, and I found it again. And this past week, 2 weeks ago, I managed to find a companion book for it. One that I've been after for a while. I got a really good deal on eBay for it. Batman and Robin Adventures #1 in a DC Universe logo variant. So yeah, guys, that's what I've been up to the last couple of months, along with going to wrestling shows with my friends and family. We were hoping to go to SmackDown once it returns from WrestleMania, but it looks like that's not happening because prices are extraordinary. And that's what I've been up to. If you guys like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. But most importantly, guys, I just want to thank you for watching my videos. All right, thank you and take care.